friend of mine called. He was a picker. Called him Pickers. And he was a picker at the Muni, which means he picked up the trash after the shows. It was actually the morning after the show, so he called and said there was an opening on the crew. So I came out here the following day and I started picking up the trash. That was in 1968, moved on through a few other jobs. Eventually worked in the office in the payroll department. I was a runner, the gopher, became director of operations, and eventually in 1991 became president and CEO. No matter where you are in this organization, you're fixing things and you're working with a bunch of amazing people. They're so creative and they're so hardworking, and their entire summer is dedicated to getting these shows on the stage.
Denny has a very true interest, true dedication to making sure that we are doing more than providing entertainment, that we are serving the community and using our resources well, and that's very, very important to him. And I think that that will define, our second century. It's a bold statement to say our next 100 years, but you don't make it there without a plan, and I think he's laid out a really great one.
We've done a certain number of improvements here at the Muni, starting in the late 90s, as a matter of fact, when we put in all new concession stands, and we doubled the number of women's restrooms at that point. We've reseated the entire theater. We've created some wonderfully landscaped areas. We have the new fans that have been put in, which have just been wonderful. And the reviews we get on those from people have just been fantastic. We put in a new pre-show dining option in Cafe One, which is on the east side of the theater. So over the past 20 years or so, we put about $25 million into the theater, and we've got some great plans for the future as well. The Muni's greatness really resides in the spirit, the intangible spirit of the audience. You just get caught up in the energy and the excitement of this place and seeing it happen. And then what I do is I'll sit out there on a night and I will look at the audience, and you see 10,000 people sitting out there enjoying a show, and you know that you had some small part in making that happen. That's pretty rewarding.
After so many years of standing at that gate and greeting people personally as they come in, usually with his sport coat on and very warm weather, Denny knows many of them by name.
And that's where I've been standing for 41 years, and that's what I enjoy the most.
This is an environment I think people work best when they're happy. I think you get the best out of people when they feel great, and that's the culture of this place. And I think the culture of any institution starts at the top.
There's a picture on my wall in my office of Henry Keeley standing on the spot where the Muni stage is now built. At the time, it was just a flat area between two oak trees. And I look at that photograph every morning and I say, okay, this guy created this thing, now don't screw it up.
But Denny has this, I don't even want to call it a habit, it's just a straight up practice of driving out different ways to the park. And he's got all kinds of systems, making sure people aren't lost. He won't leave the park until everyone's gone. Now, there are three of us who that's our actual job, right? He does not have to do that. We got it covered. There's this joke. Sometimes we think he'll find people in the park that we're pretty sure weren't even at the Muni. We've jump-started cars for people that I know didn't come to a show here, but Denny found them, So it's just about taking care of people.
To be a small part of what the Muni does for the St. Louis community is very, very cool. It's just wonderful. And to be a small part of that makes you feel like you've accomplished something. Well, first let me thank the Arts and Education Council for this incredible award. Let me thank the 900 plus employees of the Muni who really make it all happen. And I also really need to thank my wife, Michelle, and our three kids, because they have never had a summer vacation. The board, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And finally, I really want to thank the audience for allowing the Muni to be around for 100 years. So to all of you, thank you very much.